I won't say.
Oh boy, my favorite part of the day. Get to talk some music. Oh, yeah, episode 102. It's going to be fabulous.
102. That's like 102 Dalmatians. That was the second movie.
Part 2.
One. Oh.
On tonight's episode, though, we'll find out if the artist went on full-on track dad with the umbrella, fanny pack, snacks, and wheeling a cooler behind him. We're gonna find out. I bet you all are dying to hear about it.
Welcome to For Music Lovers Only, a podcast where each host makes a top 5 list of their favorite songs from this week's topic. Each week is a new topic. Tune in, I dare you.
Music Lovers Only.
Woo!
Rise!
Here we go.
Here we go. Here we are again. Like I said, episode 102 For Music Lovers Only, the podcast. And we're going to talk about, good job, coach. We're going to talk about, what are we going to talk about? Favorite cover songs. And with me, I got Coach in the right place now and Sontia, as always. So how are y'all doing tonight?
Terrible. They freaking sucks. But we're here now.
Updates on the computer.
It's been a day. We did a podcast before this. It was a unique, to say the least. Skinman was challenging. My day was challenging, so it fit perfect. I love him, and that's why we do a podcast together. So
yeah, I feel you. We had our dilemmas with the art assault Sunday. First episode I just completely deleted because the audio was horrible.
I think if you would have at least give it a chance and you would have cut it and picked it up when I came and sat in the room, you would have discovered it was way better the rest of the way. I don't know if you even skimmed or if you only made it way in the beginning, but yeah, it was.
I deleted all the lives, and I mean, I still got the original, but yeah, it was pretty bad. We tried something new, and that's part of the learning curves.
Called podcast failures.
Yeah, yep, it definitely was a bad one, but we got the guys going to come back out from Rotten Aura. Coach and I messed with it Monday. We got it figured out, and it was just we should have tested a little more. I should have put headphones on. Coach is like, put the headphones on. I'm like, nah, I don't need them.
We don't need no headphones.
That would have solved almost all of it. At least would have had me hearing how bad it was. Because I had a few people that said, yeah, it sounded bad. I didn't want to say anything and mess up the flow of it. I'm like, no, say something.
Yeah, definitely say something if it sounds bad. Be like, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, there's, it happens. I mean, it happens. Whatever.
Yeah,
Luckily, they're cool guys, and they knew this was a two-way street. You were promoting, and shit happens, and they came in, they checked out this super professional podcast studio. That doesn't mean anything that comes out of it is.
Yeah, I think we got the 27th. We're going to try to do that again, and they're going to come back out. They're going to not miss the driveway, and it's going to be a great show.
They missed the driveway. Did they hit your house? Is your house okay?
Yeah, it's fine. My establishment's kind of hidden, Josh, and my address is only partially on my mailbox because my neighbor ran it over, and there's a lot of things. But if you tell them, you just say, look for the house that doesn't look like it belongs, or you'll never notice it, look, or you'll drive along a row of cedars that look like they don't belong underneath the rock in this one. Oh, no.
There's a troll. You have to answer.
You got to go by. You got to go past the tree that looks like a
underneath the black rock that looks like it doesn't belong. You'll find the podcast studio. No, it's on Shawshank Redemption. It's a Shawshank Redemption line.
But we had the first track meet yesterday. I do not like track. I'm sorry.
It's not
What do
a
you, like, is it just boring, or why don't you like track?
it's not a parent sport. It's just not. Unless you're a track and field person, it is not a super viewer sport. You know,
No.
there's a lot going on though. There's always something to watch.
Well,
People running.
Yeah, she was done early. She did shot put. She took 5th in shot put, and I'm pretty proud of her for her first outing. And
Oh yeah,
I think she got 10th in discus.
Mhm.
But
it's all
I
full.
said I was running late. It was in Rose Hill, and of course I hit traffic going through Rose Hill. I'm like, oh my god! I was getting there right on time, and I know how, I know she was going first, so I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna do all this running and I'm gonna miss her.
Mhm.
So I finally get in the parking lot, beeline towards the front of the stadium, pay my $5, and she's like, oh, it's out over here, and I'm like, so I take off. Not running, but old man fast walking and get there, and and the crowd I see her do throw a discus, and I was like, oh great, I missed it. I didn't not knowing what was going on. They get 3 throws each thing, and so I walk onto the pad and I'm just like talking to her, and I take her glasses and stuff, and so I stand there and watch her throw the discus, and then that part gets done and they start switching out and realize I'm not supposed to be on there, and people are looking at me crazy, but I'm just like standing there like I know what I'm doing, I'm just like, nobody said, hey, you're not supposed to be here. I just stood there, and then so once I realized I was there, I was like, okay, I'll stand over
And then
here.
the kids start throwing shot puts at you, and you're like, oh, I'm in the way.
Get out of the way, old man.
Oh, you mean I can't stand behind a hurdle while they're running the hurdles? That seems weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she wanted to, her stuff was done early, and I'd already, told her I'd told coaches and everybody I was going to take her home. So, like I said, 4:30 they're done, and so 7:00 rolls around, and I'm like, I'm done, kid. I can't handle no more. Can't handle no more. And she's just running around with her friends, and so I'm just sitting there by myself. I'm like, no. I mean, at least with basketball, you're playing the entire time, or it's your game, and
Oh, just play on your phone.
Yeah.
I tried.
You don't have to associate with either. When my boys were in soccer, like, I didn't want to talk to any of the other parents because I don't like people. But eventually, right at the end, I made some friends, and then soccer was over. So,
well, real sports I can do, but track is not.
Track's a real sport.
Love.
Wow.
Coming in.
Okay, I won't say that it's not a real sport. But man,
Go run 2 miles with me tomorrow, and
I'm good. I'm good. No, I don't do that. I never liked it. I never liked running.
Ice-T likes track.
What are we getting the beef started with tea again?
Oh, maybe.
But yeah, I don't know. I
That's a couple weeks.
I will probably try a few more times. I told her yesterday, I was like, I'm not doing this again. I'll come watch you, and then I'm leaving and you're riding the bus. So worst case scenario, that's what I'll do. But yeah, I don't know. There's going to have to be some daddy disappearing time. I'm going to have to go for a drive and get away from them things because I tried.
Yeah. Worst case, you go sit out in the car and play on your phone. Bring your laptop with you. Edit some videos. Start figuring out a schedule with it. It's what Amy used to do. It's what, of course, I coached most of the time. So I was at, a lot of the practices and at that stuff, and my kids never really did track or anything, but they did volleyball, basketball, all that stuff, soccer.
I can handle that. A couple hours, you're done. You're home, But 4 hours, and then you got to drive.
That's where I said we weren't track parents. My parents very rarely. I was a pretty good track athlete in middle school, and could still very rarely get my parents there for the same reason. I get it, brother.
Yeah, it's rough. I'm gonna try.
One of my best friends that he's hardcore track. He watches track on TV and talks to me. I'm like, but he ran college. He was a college athlete for track, man. And
yeah, I get all of.
You said real sports, by the way.
Huh?
Man, speaking of people watching, we got 6 people watching, y'all. Look at that.
Yeah. How's everybody doing tonight? Kevin, Death Challenge. I missed what
What's up, Heather?
Yeah. She's goating me into trying more. I'm gonna go give it another shot.
Well,
be supportive.
Deal. Yeah, you can watch her stuff and get out. Just tell her, you want to hang out with your friends, you ride, and that's part of the experience too.
Yeah,
riding on the bus. I think that takes some of it away. We used to very rarely we pull the kids away from that because I kind of that was part of the experience for me. The late nights getting back, still having to do your school stuff and all that.
Man.
Yeah. I recanted, Kevin. Awesome.
I knew what he was talking about. That's why I said my buddy E, if he's watching, he'd be down to fight too. That's why I think people were staying on to see how this one
played out.
Yeah, I felt that in my heart, and I'm not watching like the Olympic tracks. Oh my goodness! So my middle child is in some sort of club, a smart club, and like they met like. They had a meeting and he came home and I was like, who were you talking to at the meeting? Like, who was the speaker at the meeting? And he was like, I don't know, some dude that went to the Olympics. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, he won like a medal or something. And I was like, so there was an Olympic medalist that talked to you at your school. Do you know what his name was? He's like, no, he's in track or something. I was like, dude, are you serious?
Paul Lewis was at my school today and I paid him no attention.
Yeah. Kids these days.
He was old.
Yeah. He said something about winning like a gold medal like in the 90s. I mean, Mom, he's your age,
Son. But yeah, I like track. I appreciate it.
Kevin said it paid for his college. Yeah.
Well, I'll say that was a degree that luckily it was paid for you because if you paid, no, I'm just joking, Kevin. That was just playing. That was just a friendly comment, but no.
I don't like how the comments pop up on your face there.
Yeah, you got big. Is it on Coach's face?
In colors, I think this pink picture back here or the yellow back here, something's throwing it all off.
There we go. It's not popping up on your face, at least.
All right. Now that the OCD has said,
it's you got all the new bells and whistles. Got to make sure we're looking, fresh and clean.
Mm-hmm. I'm still trying to figure out how to make the screen bigger.
The lower.
I'm not going to do it now. Don't tell me now. Nobody cares about how my technical issues and not having my good mic that I bought and I was using and I can't use right now. Nobody wants to hear that.
But
all right, let's get the spinner of doom, and
I had fun with this. I'll tell you today, doing the covers was like I just listened to them all day at work, and there was some that just blew my mind that I never would have found. I found an awesome Spotify playlist and some of the coolest covers that I've ever, it was just a cool day, man. So I'm ready to see it.
I think we did it episode 8, which was a long time ago. So yeah,
I don't remember. I don't think I was on that one. So
no, I don't think so. I vaguely kind of remember it, but I remember what I picked. But go ahead.
What? I was not ready to go first because I am not prepared at all. Because my day
used your skip, so
I know. I wasn't gonna. I'm not gonna use my skip because I'm not prepared. I'm just gonna go ahead and power through it because that's the type of person I am.
Resilience.
I don't know. All right.
Covers, woo.
So when we when we did cover songs, I already had a couple that came to mind that were really interesting, but I found some more when I was looking at that were really surprising. Like I was like, what? The first thing that I want to say though is, of course, you guys know that I love Nickelback so much. They are like my favorite band in the whole world. But there just wasn't a cover that they did that I wanted to put on the list. There just wasn't one.
I almost used one, and I will say their originals are better than their covers, because I even on this topic I tried for you because I wanted to get one once I discovered they did quite a few.
Yeah, they did.
But they were not a cover band.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah, they're way better at their own music. And one of the songs that I found was looking for a Nickelback cover. I was like, oh, they covered that song, and then bam, found something else. We'll do that one last. The first one is actually going to be a cover by. She's not like a known artist. Her name is Ashley Slim Stevenson, and if you look for the video, you have to go to Bo Rhoda's YouTube because she was doing a cover in a subway. And I spent so much time yesterday watching subway covers, just people doing covers in the subway, getting money thrown at them, people pissing on the wall. It was insane. And it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. And her cover, like, she does a whole lot of covers. So you can go look at her and see all sorts of different covers. But this raw, just recorded by some guy cover is my favorite. And she did a cover of Landslide.
Yeah.
And the way that she does it is so fast and furious and heart-wrenching. And she puts so much power into that song that you would think if you haven't ever heard Landslide, you wouldn't think that it wasn't her song, because she completely made it her own. And you can still hear the subway trains going back and forth. You can see people walking back and forth in the background, but there's still a whole crowd that's just like sitting here mesmerized because she is killing it, absolutely killing it. It's beautiful. So that's my number one.
Okay, you might have to send me that so I don't have to spend a lot of time.
Yeah, I was going to. That's why I said all of that stuff. Just in case you're gonna go look for it. And I was like, I'll just send it to you, because I had a hard time finding it. I did. And then it just went down a rabbit hole of subway performers. So it's like watching people perform just like on the streets, doing like the street gigs or whatever else. Just brings me back to when I first started playing, because that's what I used to do, is just busk.
Yeah, I love good busking videos. But Subway has a different griminess to it almost, with the echoes and everything.
Oh yeah, there were rats playing the tamarines. It was insane. It was insane. Number 2 is a cover by a gentleman named Charles Bradley, and he does a cover of Changes.
Yep.
And I love it. And one thing that I really love about that cover is the interview before it. Because the interviewer is saying, you don't seem like somebody who would, really be a Ozzy fan, And he was like, well, I listened to the words and it really hit me because I just lost my mother, and it just reminded me of her. And it is such a beautiful cover of that song. And Changes is a beautiful song by itself. And just the way that he does it just puts a different perspective on it. Like, you can apply that song to so many different things. So that's my number 2.
Yeah, I think Ozzy's version was, kind of heartbreak, love, lost love. But like I said, I've seen that video. I've watched it 1,000 times. I think it made the episode 8 by either me or somebody else. I'm pretty sure. I know we talked about it. But yeah, I love that song. And then I keep, just finding all these covers. I didn't listen to that one this go round. Found a lot of it. The playlist started playing him, and beautiful all around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I felt that way too.
Yeah.
Number 3 is a cover of a sort of a newer song, actually. If you guys didn't know, I really love Kelly Clarkson. I really do. Like, I love the way that she started off being on a TV show that just kind of makes you do what they want to do. And she fought everybody after she won and did what she wanted to do. And now she has a whole show, which I watch during lunch when I'm eating my ramen noodles, And one day I was minding my own business, eating my ramen noodles, on my couch, on my lunch break. And Kelly Clarkson did this to me. I don't know why she decided she wanted me to make me cry in my noodles. but she did a cover of Beautiful Things. And that song's already a lot. Like, that song is already a lot. But Kelly's range and power took me there. It took me there. I put my noodles down. I got my tissues. I was like, girl, yes. And she's...
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Yeah, so yeah, she's already a beautiful singer, beautiful person, wonderful personality. But that cover of that song on her show, she killed it. And I want to hear it all the time, every day.
She did a cover of a Reba song, and I think Reba, I can't think of it. I won't say it just in case it's on your list or coach's list. You know, I'm not. But it's a good song. It's a grab you and tear jerker.
Oh yeah. Reba has some beautiful music. And she used to be like my ex-boyfriend's babysitter. Strange fun fact.
Reba McEntire?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She's from, I don't know if she's from here, but she was here at some point, according to his mama. She could have lied. I'm
gonna call baloney on this, but you know, maybe his mama's babysitter. I don't know. I mean, Reba ain't that old, but she ain't. I mean, she was. She was coming up. She was already huge from pretty young. I think she.
Yeah, but she still had a whole life before that. Don't you lie on my ex-boyfriend like that.
I don't believe it.
I
want documentation. You can't just say Reba was your babysitter and think everybody's gonna buy it.
Where's he at? If you're watching, which you should.
Snoop Dogg's my plug.
This is my old high school boyfriend. If you're on here somewhere, you bring a picture or something. You've been challenged. Been
called out.
She was born and raised in Oklahoma. I'm doing some research. You keep going.
Okay. All right. Look for a dude named Smokey.
I'm trying to see if he's mentioned in her.
I babysitted this kid.
Look for a picture, little blonde-headed, little tiny. Well, he probably was still big around that. He's a big old dude in high school. Anyways, moving on. We ended on good terms. He's still.
It's all good.
Number 4. All right, I'm going to make these two fight. Which one am I going to pick? I'm going to go ahead and go with Willie Nelson, because I saw him when he was here at the River Festival, and he sung an Eddie Vedder cover called "Just Breathe," and that was one of the most. I didn't expect him to do a cover by Eddie Vedder. Like, that just wasn't something that I was expecting at that show. But his version of it was still so beautiful, and it Just Breathe is really just kind of talking about how, you know, you just live your life and just breathe through the madness. And it was from the one movie about that guy at the bus, the people who worship in the bus and going down, what is it called? Into the Wild. There it is. It was like one of the title songs of that movie. And every time I hear that song, I think of that movie. But when Willie was singing it, it was amazing. It was absolutely beautiful. So I put that on there because that's definitely one of my favorite covers.
Well, I didn't know that was a cover. It made my list, 2 or 3 weeks ago, for maybe a month ago. The Willie version with him and his son.
No, it's just Willie. Well, the video has him and his son in it. But when I saw it, it's just him.
Yeah,
on stage singing it.
Yeah, I think the recorded version has him and his son. I mean, if you've seen it on stage, it may not have been his son, but yeah, it's a good song. Damn good song.
Yeah, you're just in there.
I didn't know it was Eddie Vedder.
Yeah, it was an Eddie Vedder cover. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go listen to that now too.
Right,
maybe I'll put the originals. This will be a twofer playlist. I'll put the original versions and the cover versions. How about that?
Ooh, that'd be awesome. All right, and then my last one is the one that I found looking for the Nickelback cover. Oh my God, my cat just walked into my room and my door swung open and I almost died. You were scary. Quit being so scary. I'm on a podcast with millions of people.
Feed me, Mom.
Just no respect. I get no respect. Number 5. It's going to be Dave Mathews Band, Sweet Emotion. They did an Aerosmith cover. Okay. And I was like, you know, what? And Dave Mathews Band can play anything. So they're a big band. They're already a dynamic band. They can play anything. So I don't know why I doubted them, but I did. I really did. I was like, how in the world is this going to sound? And I'll tell you what, sounds fucking incredible. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. And when Sweet Emotion to me didn't seem like it needed horns, but there are horns in it. And it just makes it even more sane. And Dave Mathews is like the king of harmonies. Out of all of the bands that I really hear harmonies with, Dave Mathews harmonies are some of the best harmonies. And they just, when they hit that sweet, like, and then the horn is going with them, it's just,
Yeah. I don't think I've heard his version of that. I mean, if I did, I can't remember it.
And the reason why I was looking for it was because Nickelback has a cover of Sweet Emotion. And that's the one I was looking for. I couldn't find them, but I found Dave Mathews. And so, you know, they won. And that's it.
Good list.
Good list. Janice says, awesome.
Sweet.
Kevin says, what if it's a cover of a cover? Then we'll cover the covers. We'll put the covers up. On my tentative list, I had one that was probably covered 5 times. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't figure out which version I wanted to put, so it didn't make it. But yeah, good list. Got the spinner handy, Coach.
Spin it.
I'm queued up whenever you're ready. It's going. It's Coach.
Go close that door that you opened.
This was kind of my topic. It was kind of, I still, and I'm going to play the way I wanted to play, but I was it better than the originals kind of, or, is it close, or I don't know what I wanted to call it, but, this one, I don't know if we did this one 2 weeks, my list would probably change a little bit. I think 2 of them would be the same. My number 1 is the reason why I wanted to do this list. I think I shared this song in the group, but I'm going to go from 5 to 4. So, number 5. Song number 2, Plain White Tees, covered Blur, I think was the original. It's been covered a bunch of times too. But I off and on with Plain White Tees. They got some stuff I like, some stuff whatever. But they do they actually did a couple different covers, but they did a pretty awesome job on this one. And I think this one I might like better than the original. So.
I mean, the original gets infectious, but overall I don't like it. But I'll always woo! Now I feel heavy metal.
How many bands have covered it? I've
heard some bluegrass versions of it.
Yeah. So I said I think I somehow ran into like a country version, or ran into like a street performer version, and I don't know if this would be a top 100 regular song of mine. But again, I like this version. So,
okay.
My number 4, and they did some awesome covers. And I kind of forgot that they did some covers, but this one is "The Man Who Sold the World" by Nirvana. Bowie. And man, they have like I watched a whole set where he covers like 8 or 10 songs. And I wish there's more. It's hard to find some of the unplugged stuff and some of the stuff he did. But man, they were awesome. They just had a different feel to it. But
yeah, definitely. I said Bowie's version, it's kind of, I don't know, it's weird too. But like I said, they did a lot of covers on that live at wherever, New York or wherever. Unplugged, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I showed my kids.
To me, is better than the original. I think they almost stole that song. Yeah. Like that song, if you listen to it now, is almost more their song. I kind of forgot who had done that. I kind of forgot it was a cover, honestly, because they own that song, when they do it. So my number 3, and I thought you were going to steal it when you mentioned Kelly, but and she kills this one. But Kelly Clarkson, same way I loved her back in the day. I don't watch her show. And don't listen to a lot now, but she has a crazy rangy voice. could do every single thing. Every cover I've ever heard her do, she is just torn down. She'd be one of those people I would not want to cover my song.
Yeah.
The question, did she just do it better? And this one, I won't say because the world could hate me if I said how I feel, but this is Kiss that she did in Prince's original song.
Okay.
And she kills it.
I absolutely can believe it. And she's the only one I would believe it about.
Like I don't, a lot of people don't attempt Prince songs because you can't really remake that style, and you can't make a Prince song better necessarily,
and you can't mess it up either.
And you can't, and you don't want to take that and try to make it your own because it's so impossible. And she did. So if you haven't heard that one, go listen to that one.
Definitely, I want to listen to that one. I hadn't heard it. I thought you were going for the Reba one. I was like, holy shit, I didn't mean to, Coach. Oh yeah, I like that.
No, I did. I think, I don't know. I did hear, I said, I kind of went down rabbit holes with a bunch of these people when I'd find it. Cause you're like, crap, I didn't think about them doing a cover. I like some of her other songs, but I'd like to hear her do somebody else's song. So my top two are the reason why we did this list. Number two combines two of my favorite. If you can combine the original song done by Tom Petty and you get Johnny Cash to redo it, I Won't Back Down. And I'm a Tom Petty guy, and this is another one. God dang it. That Cash, I mean, he steals this song. I mean, like I don't want to, he steals this song. Like
well, he was the kind of the king of covers. He did a lot throughout his career from the very beginning. I mean, like we've talked about this numerous times, but that was kind of the formula. And I mean, it still probably kind of is today, but I mean, you had to do some covers just to pay your homage and, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, even like it was crazy when those guys used to travel together. You hear like Elvis covering a Johnny Cash song, Cash covering Elvis. One that I think you sent us, or somebody sent it with, Cash impersonating Elvis and doing the dance up there and gyrating the hips and getting it, So my number one is the reason we did this. And I think I sent it and I literally said, is it better than the original? Sontia said, no, I love this version, but it is not better than the original. I am a Beatles guy till the day I die, and I'll fight you. I never did a song better than them, except for this one. This is Gary Clarke, and I can't remember who else is with it. Gary Clarke Jr. I can't remember what it's his band that he's with at the time, but they kill it on Come Together. And his version of it is like, again, Beatles go back, or probably to me more Prince, like you don't mess with the Beatles song because you just, why? Why? And then you hear something like this and you're like, okay, never mind, do it. Do whatever you want, because if you can do more of this, that's killer. So this is it's literally one of my top 10 songs right now. If we had to do a top 10, that's so.
Oh yeah, he absolutely slaughtered that song.
Yeah, he's just amazing all around. I remember the first album. I don't know if it was his first album that I found, but the first album that I found of him just blew me away. I can't remember what was on it, but it was good stuff. Good list, Coach. Good list. I think with with a cover, you either try to pay homage to their original sound, or you try to make it your own. I've got a little bit of everything in here. Let me get my sounder. First. It's a little bit of both. I got one that may not even really be a cover. I don't know. It's kind of the timing of it. We'll get to that. What? My first one is not of the Beatles, but it's Damian Marley covered a George Harrison song. This came out last year, or 2 years ago now, 2023. Damian Marley did "My Sweet Lord," and he paid very much homage, kept the song the same except for just some hints of reggae, but it's a long song. I mean, I think I went out and ran around the block 4 times, came back and it was still playing, and it wasn't on repeat. It's just a long song, and he's got the harmonies. My sweet Lord. I don't know if he sampled that, but if he didn't, whoever's doing it is on key. Almost sounds like George Harrison. So, it's a good one. That was a find, one I hadn't heard of until today.
That's awesome.
And you know me, I stayed away from the playlist, and we'd done this, so I kind of had my original list that I did in my back of my head, and so I didn't want to go with any of those, but I kind of did some of them. I did other songs from artists, but this is one I think on my tentative back then, and it's Red Wine, UB40.
Okay, yeah, yep.
And they did a lot. I didn't realize how many covers they did. They did a lot. Just scrolling through their stuff, I was like, somebody did this, but I'd already had Red Wine, blah, blah, blah. And Neil Diamond did that originally in '73, and a totally different feel from the original song. Very slow, very Neil Diamond like, and then you go with kind of reggae. Red Wine by UB40. I'm gonna have to stop saying that now. We're gonna move on to number 3. Sweet Dreams, originally done by the Eurythmics in '83. Manson covered it. A lot of people covered this one, I think, too. But Manson's version is my favorite, and it's creepy and scary.
Oh yeah.
Eurythmics is poppy, and got the kind of the dawn of the techno and the digital sound of everything, and Manson just puts some weird, creepy, weird noises in there, creepy noises in it, and slows it down, and just, like I said, makes it his own.
Oh yeah, does that weird walk where you're like not even walking really, that ghost walk.
And then my number 2, like I said, I don't know if this is gonna. Technically is a cover, but I'm pretty sure Nina Simone. Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood. I heard this song. Lil Wayne sampled it. That's how I knew her version of it, but I'd never heard her version of it before. The Animals has always been my favorite version of it. But Nina did hers in '64. The Animals did theirs in '65. And is it a cover? I'm pretty sure, because they're totally different. Totally different songs. I can't even say for sure if Nina Simone wrote it. So it may have been written before, and I maybe they both covered it. But both versions are very, very different. Very different.
Yeah, definitely. I really like her version. I like Nina Simone too.
She had a couple others that almost made my list that I was kind of surprised. She covered a couple like a rock song and a couple other songs that you just
I Put a Spell on You. I was like, what?
And
my number 1, like I said, the cover made me completely forget that the original version existed. And I'm listening to it today, and I wasn't on a playlist of covers or nothing, but I was listening to this song, and I'm like, well, this sounds like it should be a cover. And I happened to double check it, and sure enough it was. But somebody covered Led Zeppelin, Dancing Days, and it was Stone Temple Pilots.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
They make it their own song. Like I said,
I heard that one. It's a good song.
I went back and listened to Led Zeppelin's, and I could never. It's like I've never heard it. Never heard it. Yeah. I know I've had to have heard it because I've listened to a lot of music and a lot of Led Zeppelin, so I know I've had to heard it. But this one, Scott and the boys just steal this one. It's theirs.
With the bongos.
Yeah. I think they pep it up a little bit, not speed it up, but they make it a little happier than
a little bit.
The Zepplin
I used to, like, when I was watching MTV all summer and not doing anything else, I used to wait for that song to come on because I like to sway to it. I always like Scott Weiland's little sway that he did.
Yeah, he always had a very good stage presence.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, Man Who Stole the World was on my tentatives. Lake of Fire, Meat Puppets, and I knew they did it, but I'd never listened to their version of it. And Kurt did it better.
I had another one that was a Beatles one, but it was We Can Work It Out, and Stevie Wonder did it. And made it his own. This is not better than the Beatles one, but it is good.
Yeah.
it got hearted, so it was fine. I had Pumped Up Kicks by the Kooks. I love that version of it. And then I did have Cake, I Will Survive.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Feel that, you know, and I kind of every time I say I'm not a Cake fan, they come back and say, "Are you sure?"
Yeah, I am so like that about Cake.
You like, you know.
Like I said, I think it was just yesterday or the day before. I was messing around with gal I work with, and I was like, "Are you a race car yaya?" And she's like looking at me crazy. And then the other guy in the room at the time was like, "What's the race car yaya?" I go, "I have no idea." Cake, you know, that album is one of my favorite albums.
Man.
Yeah. Also, one I did want to mention also because I've never got her on the show, but Taylor Swift covers "Drops of Jupiter," and she has a couple covers that she kills it. But "Drops of Jupiter," I really like.
Yeah.
Huh. I want to hear that one. I don't know how I feel.
Hey, you can go hear it after the show. Hey, you listen to it right now. Just do it quiet. No.
Yeah, I have a playlist. I've been diligent on that shit.
Oh yeah, I had down Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that made
hers. Even though Dolly does good, but I think Dolly's the original on that one. But,
yeah, Dolly Parton is. It is. And then I had Sinead O'Connor's "Nothing Compares to You."
Yep, I think that was on both the original. I had on the original was Marilyn Manson's version of "What Goes Around Come Around." I think we've talked about that before. Justin Timberlake's song.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, this was before I even, you know, I didn't like Justin Timberlake because the boy band crap, and then so this was like I said, this was on like LimeWire or Napster or something. I'd found this Marilyn Manson song. It wasn't on any album. It's not on an album.
Wow.
But it's like recorded at a radio station or something. John 5 and just him, just acoustic and Manson. And so I'm listening to this. I've listened to it 1,000 times, and there's just one line that always kind of stuck out that I'm like, nah, I don't think Manson would write that, you know. So I done some digging, and I was like, what? And so I watched the video of Justin Timberlake's, and then I was like, all right,
wow,
I'll give him a chance. And I love that video.
I did not know that was a thing. I sure didn't.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to say what you do.
Korn also does some pretty badass covers, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. Do some fun ones.
When they were touring back with
My Earache.
What's that?
What's the Cheech and Chong cover they do, My Earache?
Word Up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The cow wired.
Manson definitely is a king of covers too. There's not one that he does that I don't think is at least comparable. Mm-hmm. He did a couple. He did God's Gonna Cut You Down. He covered that one for Cash. So it's kind of a cycle.
Somebody we didn't talk about, but I don't know if he actually records any of them. I seen him on Howard Stern one time doing it, but why can't I think of it? I just had it in my head. Post Malone, dude, he covers everybody and he kills it. His acoustic covers. He sat there just playing one night on Howard Stern, and he covered like Aerosmith and AC/DC and covered like some country stuff. And I mean, that dude's crazy talented. Give him a guitar and he'd pretty much do it.
I've tried to give him a chance. I like a couple of his songs, like literally 2, but I don't know.
He's a music freak. I don't know that I have a lot of his. Like I said, that show is where of course, he smoked 463 cigarettes and sung 15 songs.
That's that dude just so many cigarettes.
He smokes on a clock. I mean, I think he said one time, I think he smokes like 6 or 7 packs a day.
That's
oh my God.
That's amazing. Man, Kevin
I
said
agree,
that,
Tim.
Yeah, Typo Negative does a killer cover.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Tim said Korn's version of Low Riders.
Yep.
I do love that one. Like I said, Korn, man, I fell off of Korn maybe in the last 8 or 10 years, or I don't know what, but I'm back on. I'm on Korn. I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize for being back on Korn.
No,
they
I
were
apologize.
off, so I mean they weren't doing anything. So you good.
Now, Korn and Rage, both of my '90s, like mad bands. I'm back on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Oh
I
yeah.
said this before. I mean, Korn. I've never been like huge Korn. I mean, I've always liked them, but they're the most I've seen in concert. They were playing everywhere, playing with everybody in the late '90s. So
yeah, they. I hope they put their money away because they made a lot of it in about an 8-year period.
I feel really bad that they were here and I didn't go see them. I sure didn't. I was sitting there like watching. What was I doing? Oh, I was downtown, and then I was like, "Oh man, Korn's here." I forgot, And then I was like, "Well, I'll just go get a ticket," because didn't have anything else to do. And then box office was closed, so they're too late.
Too late. Denied. Korn denied. All right, next week let's get our artist list going, and we'll let the beautiful audience tell us which order they want us to do it in. Like we'll do it like we did with the cube. We'll all pick one artist and we'll put it on the poll, and then we'll go from there. I thought that was pretty fun, and then we'll go from there.
All right, we'll do it. We will get it done.
Get it done. All right.
Some random years too. I have fun with that because it makes me discover stuff that I don't know that I'm supposed to discover.
Do you got your year generator?
Yeah.
Andy?
Because we're bringing that thing. Yeah, we're bringing that thing.
We'll do three. We'll do the 3 years for next week, and then we'll get our artist list going. How about that?
I like that.
All right, that'll work.
Because I still don't have an artist. I had one when I originally rebrought it up right after Cube, but then I completely spaced it off.
Oh.
And I feel a different way, so it probably wouldn't even be the same.
Pole dancing artists, y'all.
I don't think I know.
Pole dancing songs. Oh, that's gonna get everybody in so much trouble. Get naked.
Wow.
Remember that? Get naked.
Genuine.
Get naked. You, Jana.
Yeah.
The thong song.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pony, wasn't it? Genuine Pony.
There was this.
Pony? Right.
Oh, now everybody got quiet, but I'm getting ready to tell a story. You can't hear it now. No, so we were like all, the whole world ended at some point, and we were all stuck at home, and then people were doing a bunch of stuff online. And there was this dude that he had gotten off of drugs, but he needed to do something with his excess energy. So he would just like put on songs and dance, and people would like send him Cash App money. And one of the most requested songs for him to dance to was Pony.
Yeah.
And then he got a girlfriend, and somebody asked for Pony, and she said no.
We've done 80, remember? We've done 1980.
We did the 80s. Did we do 80?
Yeah, we did 80. They did the 80s.
A couple of them.
Let it go.
It won't let it. Okay. 74, 17, and 16. Well,
put them close together. I could do them one at a time. I just did 3 years. I mean, I've been pushing it over here for a while.
Okay.
All right, here's the last one. All right, this is a better year. These are the years we're going with.
2015. Okay, that's spaced out.
I'm pretty sure we did one of them already, though.
Well, if we did, then we'll go 1 year below or above it.
Yeah, we'll do that. I'm just...
You control the vote. Nobody's going to go back and critique us on this, Josh. You could have just said okay, and then we could have made up 3 damn random years, and it would have been fine.
Yeah. I'm regretting that decision already. So what were they again? Show me. What were they again?
I don't even know if I want to now, Josh.
Okay.
It's 2015, 1973, and 1993.
Okay.
I wrote it down.
I couldn't find a pencil, so that's why
I screenshot it when I did it. So
we'll put that to the vote and let our fabulous audience vote on that.
And Jana will tell us what year we had done. So we'll take that year out.
Yeah. 93 is the one I'm thinking. that we did, but maybe I may be wrong. I think we did 96.
I remember
I've slept since
96.
then. We'll fact check it later. We're gonna get off here. It was a great show. Thank you guys. A lot of great covers. Like I said, I'll do a playlist of the doubles with the original to cover. Or if there was 5 of them, I will put all of them on there just for Kevin. And I don't think it hurts to have a big playlist. I mean, size matters, right? So the bigger the playlist, the better, right?
List is how you use it.
All right. Good show.
Thank you guys for watching and staying on for so long, man.
Mm-hmm. You guys rock. You guys are the real heroes.
Absolutely.